You can see on the screen that the last piece of content I posted was the 25th of February last year. But during all of 2024, our business made a minimum of $100,000 per month every single month. And sure, we had some clients come in from referrals, but outside of that, 100% of the sales came from the method that I'm going to be showing you today in this video. Now, if you click this video, I'm guessing it's because you're posting content every day, you're not making the money you want to be making in your business, and I'm glad you're here. Now, to be fair, you might already be making $5, $10, $15, $50,000 a month just organically from your content, but you really want to scale it. Or if you're stuck trying to get your business off the ground, this might be the most important video that you watch in 2025, because when I stopped posting content every day, I actually went from $0 to $100,000 per month in my business just 7 months later. And my coaching and course business since then has made as much as $240,000 in 1 month, plus, and that's cash collected. But I've also been able to maintain a minimum of $100,000 per month for my business for 20 months in a row. Now, for you skeptics, I should be showing some proof on the screen right now. So if you're posting content every day and you're still not making the kind of money that you want to be making, then listen up and tune into this video, because it's not your fault. You've been brainwashed by the organic gurus that the only way to make 10K a month or the only way to scale to 100K a month is by posting content. Whereas in reality, the truth is that they just have no idea how to do it any other way. And what I'm going to be revealing to you in this video is actually how to do it without even posting a single piece of content. Not only that, but I'm going to argue that for the majority of people, posting content is one of the worst ways to actually start, if you're looking to generate customers and to scale. Now, I'm pretty sure that's going to piss a lot of people off. And to be fair, I'm not saying that posting content is bad or that it doesn't work. I'm just saying that if you survey like 100 different new coaches and course sellers, it's going to be embarrassing. It's embarrassing because they've been spending all this time posting content every day and they're not even making enough money to quit their jobs. And if that's you, again, this really is not your fault. It's just that nobody you've listened to so far actually knows how to do it any other way. They all got rich by teaching people how to post content, and their content did well doing that. So they made a lot of money as well, which is fine. The problem is that, when most people try and follow that same strategy and they implement it, even if they're patient, unlike most people, and they wait the 60, 90, or 180 days posting every day, most people are still under that 10K a month mark. Some people are barely making any money at all, and virtually nobody, maybe 1 in 1,000, is making 100K a month consistently from that strategy. Again, to be fair, it's not that it doesn't work at all. It's just that it doesn't work on average. Okay, so what's the better way then? What's the different way of doing this? Now, look, I can't say this is better. This is just my 2 cents. And it's what I would do if I was going to start my own business again, if I wanted to get to 10K a month, or if I wanted to get to 100K a month. This is exactly what I would do. So you can see on my screen here, this is the post I was talking about earlier that you saw earlier. You can see the 25th of February 2024 was the last piece of content that I posted. Now, we've been running this business for a long time and we've generated customers a lot of different ways. But like I said, the first way I did it was, so I was posting content all the time, right? I was posting content every day. I was DMing strangers. I was of course, reaching out to anyone that liked my posts or anyone that I thought might possibly be interested in what I was doing. So that was kind of the content plus, it's cold DMs, right? And then I realized if I'm spending all this time posting content and some of my content's doing better than other pieces of content, is there any way that I could just take that same piece of content and scale it? And I don't know why, but it really seemed like at the time, nobody else had kind of thought of that. A lot of people were running ads, but they weren't running ads that same way, where you were really having, these ads or this content that looked organic, right? And scaling that. And I actually called that, I'm not going to type it out here because it's going to take me a long time with my mouse and my drawing skills. As you can probably tell, I'm no Picasso. But I called it scalable organic. The reason I called it that was I took the principles that worked from content and the conversion principles that were working in the DMs. And then all I did was I just scaled it, right? Oh yeah. And the way I did that was I basically took the best performing pieces of content. So, every time you post content, you might post like 10 pieces of content, like 5 might do okay, 3 might do pretty good, and then 2 will usually outperform by quite a large margin, right? They're going to do much better than the other pieces of content. So what I would do is that like every 10 pieces of content that I would make, I would find 2 pieces of content that perform the best, and I would just head and turn those into ads. And I would really keep everything the same. I would keep the copy the same, I would keep the images the same, or the videos the same, or whatever I was doing. But now I loaded it into the ads manager, I could turn it into ads, and I could actually scale it. So if you've never done this before, like, I'm just going to take a step back and explain what I'm talking about here. So you can open the ads manager, you create your ad account, right? And a lot of people are already running ads right now. That's cool. And a lot of people I know are just posting content. They're not in the ads game yet, but it doesn't take long. And you basically create a portal in Meta, and you can upload your images, upload your videos, and you can select your audience. Now, if you already have a good organic following, you can just basically say, hey, go find me more people that look like my Instagram following, the people that have engaged with my content in the last 90 days. And Facebook's going to be like, okay, I see your following, I see who we've got here, and it's going to go and find those people. And now, if you don't have any following, you can just target based on interest. So, if you're in the coaching space, there's a coaching interest, right? Like for me, you might target people that are interested in coaching, or people that are interested in, different influencers that my target market might resonate with, right? So depending on where you're at in your business or what resources you've got, you can target your ads in different ways. So if you're just starting and you've got a bit of a following, then you can I'll get a little bit technical for a second because some of you I think will find that valuable. You can do the audience, create a custom audience, Instagram engages last 90 days. In your ad set level, then turn on detailed targeting expansion. And what that's going to do is it's going to say, Facebook, here's my Instagram engages, let's go and run my ads to those people. But to scale it, let's go and find more people that look like that. And then Facebook has that permission. And if you put your budget on $2 a day, $5 a day, $10 a day, it doesn't matter. Facebook's now going to start increasing the visibility of that awesome piece of content, the one here, the outperformer, right? And that's the biggest problem is a lot of people are posting content, sometimes they have a piece of content that does quite well, maybe it goes a little bit viral or whatever, but then it dies off. So you have this like viral post, right? And it's just going great. You're getting all these new followers, all this engagement, all these DMs, and it's like going up so awesome. And then it starts going down again and there's nothing you can do about it. So instead, what I would do is I would take the piece of content. Let me see if I can get a nice green going here. Oh yeah. I would take the piece of content like right here and then I would load it in as an ad, right? And then I would be able to go up again with that same piece of content. So instead of it dying off, it's actually scaling up. Now, where did we run these ads? So we were running these ads to the DM. So all I would change about the piece of content is often with your content, you're going to say comment. So like comment keyword if you're interested in learning more. And what I would do is I changed it. I would say just DM me if you're interested in learning more. And that's pretty much the only change I'd make. I'd make that change in the video if it was like some kind of organic reel, in the caption if it was a post on Facebook or whatever the medium was. All I'm going to do is change comment to DM. And what that would do then is it would take this viral piece of content and it would actually start making more and more and more. It would generate more and more interest in it. Oh, I'm not sure what kind of blue I used. There we go, I think that's it. So it would generate all of this interest, right? And you had all these people DMing you, which was really cool. And you can easily get 10, 20, 30, even 50 new DMs a day. And that's from people that are actually interested in what you have to sell. Now, what we found was in 2024, the market started to change a little bit. A lot of people had been posting VSLs, which is kind of like you send, to an opt-in page and then to a video and then to book a call, or a lot of people were doing the DM strategy as well. And to be fair, both of those strategies still work really well, but we'd noticed a bit of a shift. We noticed that trust, there was really two main factors. Trust was going down and economics was kind of fighting against us as well. And this really hit home. The other day I looked at Apple and I looked at Tesla and just a few other major companies, NVIDIA. I can't even remember why I was doing it. It wasn't for this purpose, but I actually saw that in 2022, let's use Apple's data, they made about $90 billion in sales. And then in 2024, they made $60 billion in sales. And it didn't even click for me at that moment. It didn't really mean much to me because I was looking for some other reason. I can't even remember why. And I looked at another company, and they all had this exact same pattern, right? And I was like, oh, so everything's dropped by about 30%. And I think in our space, if you're selling information, if you're selling coaching courses, anything like that online, agency services, whatever, I think that right now there's actually more people in the market than ever who want to become a better version of themselves. They want to, invest in themselves, and they want to grow themselves. But what I'm seeing is that they're shopping in different ways. So instead of just when trust was high, people would purchase number 1, purchase number 2, purchase number 3. Well, that's a funky 3. And each of these purchases might have been $5,000, right? But now what we're seeing is this same person, this same buyer is more likely to make one purchase. And it might be $5,000. But also, what I'm seeing a lot of people doing in the market is maybe they still make 3 purchases, but they make it in different ways. And what I'm seeing is it might be $27 per purchase, $17 per purchase, $47 per purchase. So we're seeing this influx of buyers purchasing these lower price programs. And from there, to be fair, they're probably still going to make, if they were going to in the first place, their one big purchase, right? They're still going to drop their $5,000 on something that they think is going to get them the result. But it's not like when trust was high and everyone was just buying everything and not really vetting you, not really, needing to trust you. They were just okay, I've got plenty of money, let's do it. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've seen shift in the last year. And that kind of comes into the economy as well. I think it's because of both of these factors, trust and the economy, that we're seeing this differentiation in buyer behavior. So what we started doing differently, and this is more towards the middle of 2024 when we noticed this really starting to happen, was we started creating what I was calling the Ascension Funnel. Ascension Funnel. And what that would mean then is you would have one initial product that was, say, $47, and then you would move them to the delivery, and you would give them their product, and from there you'd be able to talk to them more, and you'd probably get them on a call for your higher level course, coaching, whatever you're selling. Then I did something that I ended up being very beneficial. So we started doing this, but instead of sending them straight to delivery, we sent them to a sequence, which I call the 5 sales in 5 minutes sequence, which is a number of products that they'll buy instantly. This actually took my average order value from $4.95. That's when I first started. We were doing a book funnel, and literally my average order value was $4.95. To last week, I checked, and it was $293, which is very high. I think if you're more sophisticated, you've got a business that's bigger already, you'll probably say, wow, that's quite high. That's the average cart value when someone first purchases. So that's within the first 5 minutes. That's not including upsells or lifetime value or any of that. It's just the first purchases that they're making. So we added that there. And then in delivery, we added a second sequence, which was the ability to move someone then into your high level program. So let's say, and we'll call this A for Ascension, and it's where the funnel got its name then. You were able to move them into your highest level program either with calls or without calls, and they were paying in full just via the chat. And why is that? It's because we solved this problem. We solved the trust problem, and we solved the economy problem. And by solving both of those problems, we were able to generate not just the same amount of buyers, but more. And it's because, like I said, I actually think there's just as many, if not more people who are in the market right now who want to be a better version of themselves, who are actively trying to purchase solutions to help them make more money, to grow their businesses, to fix their relationships, to save their marriage, to, have a natural birth that's a success. Like whatever you sell, I've seen it all. And I think if you just meet people where they're at in 2025, as opposed to kind of forcing them to do what you want them to do, kind of taking a step back and realizing that the market has changed. Now it's probably on me to meet them where they're at. I don't want to force them through my old funnel that, is sure, it's what I would like. It's simple, it's easy, it's dirty, it gets the job done. But now this is a little bit more work, it's a little bit more effort. But what we're seeing is the results are even better than at the best part of 2024 with that old kind of way of getting customers. This new way is even better in 2025 when I'm talking to a lot of coaching businesses and coaching business owners, course business owners that are struggling. But if you're doing it the old way, that's why you're struggling, because you're fighting against the trust recession and you're fighting against, the economy shifts. But like I said, there are just as many people, if not more, who are interested in upgrading themselves. So that's what we would do here. We'll go into delivery. And then there's really two ways to do it here. It depends on what you sell. So if you have something that's, say, $2,000, maybe $5,000, and you sell it via a sales call, then you can still follow our ascension sequence to get them to a call, right? That still totally works. And another way to do it is, instead of sending them to a call, let's say you have a $495 membership or even a $2,000 course or $2,000 program. That's probably the top end of what I do with this. I think maybe even $1,000 is a bit of a sweet spot right now. And above that, maybe you could offer it in a payment plan if it's $2,000, or just sell it over the phone. But you can actually move them to what we're doing. And this only works because we're gonna say a webinar, but this only works because if you're getting someone for free that doesn't know you, doesn't like you, doesn't trust you, and you say, hey, register for my webinar, and they do, the odds of them actually showing up for that webinar are really quite low. Not many people do show up to the webinar. However, if they've purchased from you and then they've received back the product that they purchased and they liked it, at that point in time is this beautiful sweet spot where for example, we've just recently started moving to this webinar model, and we'd been doing the call model before that. We had about 40 calls booked, and I had one person no-show, and they text me saying that they were late at their daughter's game. But out of all of the other people, we had 100% show rate. There was one person that didn't show. Gosh, I don't even know what 40. That's a 4% no-show rate, or a 3%. It's like a 95% or more show rate. And if you're watching this and you're running like a VSL or a webinar or something like that, then you're probably just like, oh my God, my show rate's like 30%, 50%, 60%. Like, to say that this is a game changer is an huge understatement. And what we've found is that because the calls were showing so well and the calls were so straightforward and the people already wanted what we had, we've actually moved to just literally sending people a webinar instead to convert them into an offer. And again, to be fair, the offer is only about $2,000 and you can pay it in payment plans, because I really do think that if you want to convert most people that watch it, everyone, even if it's a little bit of a stretch, like you watching this video right now, if there was a way to get customers guaranteed for your business, you're going to find $2,000. Even if you're like, oh my God, it's a bit of a stretch, you still do have access to that credit. You still do have that savings that you could put into it. So for you got to think about, like, how can I make sure that someone believes that this is going to be exactly what they need, and that it's important to invest in getting your help as a coach or course seller. So if you can achieve that by using this funnel and this model, you're able then to get them to watch that webinar and actually sign up without even talking to you on the phone. And for me, this was actually a game changer. It literally happened last week. We made sales without sales calls, like high ticket sales without sales calls. And again, to be fair, they're not really high ticket. They're more mid ticket, $2,000, ticket value per sale. We made 6 in the first day. Right? So I was like umming and ahhing if this would even work, because I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit of the old guard. I'm like, you need to do sales calls, sell something expensive. And what we've been doing is just showing me time and time again that I don't know as much as I think I know. And I think everyone needs to be reminded of that, every once in a while. And to be fair, I don't really have that. I don't really think I know all of that much. But even so, you get set in your ways of doing certain things a certain way because it works, and then it stops working. And you have to figure out the new way to do it that's going to work now as opposed to what you were doing in the past. And I think having this low ticket ascension funnel is the number one thing that I would install into my business if I wanted to grow it and scale it. And like I said, that's how we're making $6,000 in a day. And also, I want to be clear that you can actually make money on all of this here. Go green again. All of this here can actually make you money, right? So you might put $1,000 into ads. Again, we've scaled up. We're doing about $1,000 a day in ad spend. And you might make, like last week, one day we made $3,000 back. That's in low ticket sales. That's not including then the other $6,000 that come in that same day on the back end. So you can see that this is also potentially a much more profitable model. Instead of paying $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 per call with only a 50% show rate, and you're getting cost to acquire a customer is like $1,000. Well, your cost to acquire a customer here can be in the negatives because they paid you to come into your ecosystem and they signed up without you having to spend any more money. So maybe you made $50 when they first came in, and then they buy your next thing and you make another $2,000. Oh, Picasso coming out strong. So you actually never even need to go into the red. And of course, it doesn't necessarily happen straight away. You've got to have a good offer and all of that stuff. But we can help you kind of put that together. And, we've done that with thousands of clients before. And I think I've got quite a good offer, which is why it's working so well for me. But again, we basically just took what was working. What I was talking about at the start of this, which is this idea of scalable organic, right? Taking your best performing content, turning it into ads, and scaling it. And that's still the exact same strategy that we're using now. It's just that instead of moving to the DMs, we're taking that high performing content, and by now we don't even need to post content to figure out what the best content would be. We're just doing these ads, and I'm going to show it to you for free in another one of the videos here on this channel. We can just create that native looking content, run it as an ad, never even post it as content, scale it up, drive traffic to your low ticket product, whether it's 47, 27, 17, whatever. Have this 5 sales in 5 minutes upsell sequence, get your average cart value up higher, and then you can move them either to a call or straight to a webinar and have them purchase your products directly. It's totally up to you. Now, look, I've put this channel together to share genuine value with you to help you grow your business, because honestly, most coaches and course sellers, the average business that hits $1 million in sales in America is 5%. So that's your odds of getting to 100K a month or $1 million a year. But I really believe that in the coaching and course space right now, it's even worse than that. So I'm taking some of my time and I'm giving it back to you to hopefully show you what's working right now, so you're not guessing. You might still be trying to run a lead magnet. It's just a lead magnet would be not a good way to get new customers in 2025, because if you're optimizing for leads, you're going to attract people that always opt into stuff but never buy stuff. Whereas if you're optimizing for purchases, now your ads are going against in front of quality people that actually pull out their cards and buy things. So even if you're posting content, you're bringing all the wrong people into your ecosystem versus bringing the right people into your ecosystem. I think that's the kind of thing that makes a difference. And that's what this channel is all about, is helping you kind of see that and understand that and make the best from your business as well. So if you did want our help to actually build one of these funnels entirely done for you, we can possibly do that. The other thing is we've got a free training on that goes in depth into this funnel, exactly how it works. Like I said, showing you my exact ads, showing you our scaling process, showing you the kinds of things that are working right now, showing you the funnel, actually behind the scenes of my exact funnel, how it works, what it looks like, all that. It's 70 minutes of free value. And the last 10 minutes, I just say, hey, and if you want us to build this for you, we can. And I kind of break down how that works. But if you don't want us to do that, then just cancel the video and get the free stuff and then just get out of there. Because at the end of the day, I'm more about putting out free value. And then some of you are higher level people, or you're kind of more committed to your business and you want us to do it for you. Cool. And for everyone else, that's fine. Just get the most out of this free content so you can scale your business as well. And I'll see you in the next video.